Well, first I just have to say just a huge thank you to the fans that showed up today and yesterday. It was, I think, one of the most incredible atmospheres we've had at an NCAA championships, and to have that much home support, for that many people to show up, show their support for our team and the sport, it was really incredible. And then secondly on that, a massive thank you as well to all the staff at WVU, the university, and especially within our athletic department. We know how much work it takes to put on a championships, and they just did an amazing job. And I think it was definitely one of the the best championships that's been for a long time. And maybe wasn't the result that we wanted right at the end, but just a huge thank you to the fans that came out and supported, and also all of our staff that put it on.
Okay, we'll open it for questions for Coach.
Certainly you'd have liked a better ending. Just talk about how today went. It looked like just from the very get-go this morning that there was a struggle.
Yeah, I think there's always nerves at a championship like this, and I think we just felt the nerves a little bit this morning, and I know the three of them absolutely tried their best. They did a great job of being composed, being as calm as they possibly could under the circumstances. And you hope once you get going to just settle into the match and kind of let it flow. And it was just one of those days that they struggled a little bit, and I'm sure they noticed it and maybe fed off each other a little bit, but they continued to work hard and do their absolute best. And it's a tough environment to shoot in. I know I definitely sort of just felt the pressure just sitting there, and I wasn't out there trying to stand still and shoot a tiny dot at the end of the target. So it was tough, and that kind of put us in a hole. And Ginny and Militza did a great job on the second relay, and just wasn't enough.
As you said, in the second relay, Ginny and Militza were, any other day that'd be fantastic scores, but they were so far behind the 8-ball. Did that affect their performance in any way?
I don't think so. I suspect they didn't know what the scores were, and they were able to stay focused and come in and shoot their match. That's typically how they want to do it on a second relay. So no, they came in and had a great match, and I don't think we're affected by anything beforehand.
And TCU's performance, that was hard to match as well.
Absolutely. They dealt with the atmosphere, the circumstances, and had a great performance, and deservedly are the champions.
Today was the last competition for your two seniors, Will Yancey and Jenny Thrasher. Can you just talk a little bit about what they meant to the team?
Yeah, our two seniors have been fantastic and have had 4 amazing years. Will's been just a great captain for us this year. He's really been our leader, and pushed everyone, motivated everyone, and has really kind of held everything together. And Ginny, obviously, we've said it many times before, you don't have that caliber of person come through a program too often, and she's accomplished an amazing amount in her 4 years. And it doesn't seem very long ago that she was a freshman and going to the Olympics and doing, it was all a bit of a whirlwind, but they've both had a huge impact on our program, and we'll definitely miss them. And I know they would have wanted to finish this match off, one place higher and a little bit differently, but they can both be incredibly proud of what they've meant to the program and what they've given over their 4 years.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday that you guys drive to the Coliseum every day, and there's a certain comfort in that. Did that change today, or was it just kind of getting behind the 8-ball early created a lot of pressure?
I don't know. Everyone's different in their mindset and how they prepare. I think it's just one of those things. It's a difficult match to shoot. It's not often that we get to walk out in front of 1,000 people, and certainly for us, 1,000 people wearing blue and gold and kind of cheering you on. And while that's obviously wonderful and motivating, and you can take a lot of pride from it, I'm sure that's a challenging environment a little bit as well. So it's not something that we're used to. I'm sure our team members can have a lot more appreciation for football players and basketball players that walk out in front of thousands of people, week in, week out, and are maybe scrutinized for any small mistake they do. And I'm sure our guys can have a greater appreciation for that. But I think just, you know, even myself as a coach, you know, I noticed it just walking out and realizing there's that many people, you know, watching you and supporting you, and you know, that's hard for an athlete. So they did their absolute best, and they worked really hard throughout the match. I never saw them lose their composure or get frustrated, or, you know, I feel like they were really mentally ready, and they did a great job of handling their emotions. But, you know, there's sometimes that, you know, you're nervous for things, and it's just it takes a lot to really get that under control, and they did the best they could.
Any other coach questions?
Obviously, I know, being an athlete myself, preparation for next year starts now. So
sure.
what are some things that you as a coach are gonna really focus on, you know, in the next coming days, weeks, months, that you prepare for next year, to make sure that you put yourself in the best possible position to be at the championships again? For sure.
You know, I think you definitely start thinking about it right away. I think, you know, we have to take a little bit of time and decompress. It's nice having spring break next week. You know, I don't think there's instant sort of changes or things to do, but you definitely start looking towards next year's team and the dynamic of that team, and who are going to be the leaders and the new team members coming in. And yeah, just take a time to think about, you know, what can we do better. You know, I think it's whether you win a championship or don't, or however you do, you know, whatever you do, you think about how can we make improvements and what can we do. So we'll have a long, hard think about that. You know, I don't really, you know, have things right on the top of my head of what we'll do immediately, but we'll certainly work hard. We'll think about all the little things that we can do in practice, in the off season, going into next season. And we'll be ready to do the best we can. So it's always exciting to start a new year. I think at the same time you've got to, you know, take a moment and decompress, and you know, think about, you know, there were a lot of good things that we had this season as well, and take the positives from that, and then move forward.